With that, we want to bring in our Brian Entin for a little bit more on this timeline. And Brian, in 72 hours, we have gone from sort of this incredible story of heroism, and admittedly, there are still a few officers who performed heroically, specifically the ones who went into the classroom. But there's an awful lot of really, really awful facts that have come out.
Yeah, I mean, we've been here since the beginning, Leland, and it's just, it's crazy to think about just a few days ago that they were praising the law enforcement response, saying that they acted very, very quickly, and every day that's sort of unraveled. And today it really became clear that there were big problems here. I mean, the police first went in around 11:30 in the morning. There was initially 3 officers that went inside. Within about 40 minutes, you had 19 police officers inside the hallway, almost 20 officers in the hallway right outside the door where this was happening.
30 minutes later, they've got 19 officers
outside. And so an hour and about 15 minutes goes by from the time the first officer went inside the school before they finally decided that they were going to go into that room.
And I'm thinking that right about the time that those 19 officers showed up, these are the victims who died inside that classroom. 12:03, a girl inside calls 911. 12:10, the girl calls back and reports multiple dead people in. 12:13, same girl calls again. 12:16, someone else calls. 12:26, girls call again. 12:43, girls still on the line, asked to send police now. And there was the chief of the school district police department who made the decision to stay outside. I was sort of floored, I guess, at the press conference. He had been a big part, Arredondo had been a big part of the media presence here, and then all of a sudden he was gone. It was the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety. And for a while, he wouldn't even say who the incident commander was. It was blamed, the decision was blamed on this amorphous being.
Yeah, you're right. And I want to back up for a second because you reminded me. I mean, I think one of the most heartbreaking things about what we learned today was that there was this 4th grader inside the classroom who called 911 4 times begging for help. And the last time she called, she told them that there were 8 or 9 students, her classmates, that were still alive in the room. So she told the 911 operator that, and they still were not going inside. And you bring up the chief of police. At first at the press conference, they almost like didn't want to name him. They kept saying the commander on scene. And so we pushed and pushed and pushed to find out. Listen to what happened. Sir, who was the incident commander, and has that person been suspended?
The chief of police, the Consolidated Independent School District, is the incident commander.
And has that person been released?
It's his school. He's the chief of police. Okay.
Has he been suspended?
Yeah. Again, I'm not going to discuss this.
But you said the policies.
There's an ongoing criminal investigation.
Sir, you said the policies were clear that they should have gone right in.
Again, I'm not going to get into that.
So obviously we'd like to hear from the chief. I mean, the way they explained it today is that the chief believed it was a barricaded subject and not an active shooter.
Even though they were hearing rounds go off.
And the 911 call. I mean, the kids calling over and over again. How did they not know?
How did they not know? And how did they just stand there outside the door? How do you view, and you've covered so many of these, you covered Parkland, for example. It's one thing to get bad information from the agency that is responsible for the situation. And then you go, wow, you guys were really trying to cover things up. How much of this are we to believe that the Texas Department of Public Safety was getting bad information and kept putting out what they believed to be true at the time, and today finally peeled it off? 72 hours is still pretty quick to say, clearly mistakes were made.
It's my sense that the Rangers, my sense is that they weren't intentionally misleading us. I mean, we've been interviewing them all week. I don't get the sense they were lying. They're not the ones who were calling the shots. I mean, they've now been called in to investigate.
Right.
But even the governor, Governor Abbott, frankly was not happy today. He said he was misled. He said he was misled at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, that's a great place, Brian, to end things. Brian, thank you very much. And speaking of the governor, here he is today.
I am livid about what happened. I was on this very stage 2 days ago, and I was telling the public information that had been told to me in a room just a few yards behind where we're located right now. I wrote down hand notes in detail about what everybody in that room told me in sequential order about what happened. And when I came out here on this stage and told the public what happened, it was a recitation of what people in that room told me, whether it be law enforcement officials or non-law enforcement officials, whatever the case may be. And as everybody has learned, the information that I was given turned out in part to be inaccurate. And I'm absolutely livid about that. And here's my expectation. My expectation is that the law enforcement leaders that are leading the investigations, which includes the Texas Rangers and the FBI, they get to the bottom of every fact with absolute certainty.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.